Salutations and welcome. As you now know, I am Midnight. We are fortunate in that this journey includes a special guest. Introduce yourself, bro.
Most know me in the past as Known Prophet, a lyricist, songwriter, assistant producer to most of my own tracks. We did a lot of music with CCOE, Found by Sound Productions. Been out the game for a while, so you can formally call me as Andre. And it's a blessing to be here. And I'd like to welcome everyone to our little inner circle.
So what was it that you were playing?
We started off with Don Tripp.
Right.
He is one of my favorite artists out of Memphis, I believe, out of Tennessee. He's more like a dad rapper, you know? Like you get that real vibe. I had to stray away from actual like hardcore trap music, you know? How it kind of...
It's said that some argue that music can't influence you to behave a certain way. I believe it can.
Absolutely.
It's not just the fact that it's glamorized, it's the fact that it sounds good being glamorized. It's wild. I don't know, it's in my opinion, if you want someone to stop doing something, if it's not detrimental, if they're actually progressing from it, if you want them to stop doing that, you're going to have to offer them something better. If I'm, God forgive me, if I'm making $1,500 a day doing whatever, and you say this is wrong and you should stop, agreed, but you then offer a job that pays $300 a week, how are you trying to talk me out of this? You know?
You definitely have to make a counter offer that is more appealing.
It's just nobody even thinks about it. No one. I've yet to hear one person who's truly over the rail. I mean, sometimes I think they're taking a piss, but they're being serious. Not one of them has a suggestion as to what should be done after we get them to stop. You're just going to, as Don Tripp said, there are veterans that come back from deployments that want to go back as opposed to staying with their wife and child. Likewise, you're offering me peanuts and the mundane when before I had steak, lobster, and a shootout or two, just to pepper things and keep it lively. You know, what have you. I'm not trivializing violence. It's just a simple fact. What are you talking about?
I think that was even shown during the height of the COVID pandemic, is when people were laid off. You know, they were making per week
more than
what they were making or more per 2 weeks. So when you call people back to work, nobody wants to work.
Everybody's coughing.
I'm making double the money staying home.
Doing nothing. I understand.
But what I see is the lack of risk taking during those times when people, even myself, but I used, I did what I did, but some people, most people, I should say, probably did not take that opportunity to say, if I don't intend to go back to this job, making what I was because I'm making what I am now, off of unemployment and COVID funds, utilize those funds and open a small business.
Right.
Get an LLC.
Right.
Use that to project yourself above what they're offering. Even if you do take it or take something slightly better, you can still have something in your back pocket to bring in passive income. Money is not to be idolized. It is to be used as a tool, just as our education and our language and our skill sets. Money is an object, a tool. You can use your tools for what? Good or bad. You give me a firearm, I can run the streets with the hoodlums and use my tool for bad. Or you can give someone a firearm and a badge and pledge an oath and they become a police officer. And they're supposed to use their tools for justice and good and for the well-being of the public. You can use your money as a tool and gamble and lose it all.
And many did.
Or gamble and hit it big. Or you can take your money and put it here and accrue interest and let it grow. Put it in a business or investment stock and let it grow. And use your money for good. It's just like if I had an extra $100 that I could spend for whatever, and I saw a genuinely homeless person who was starving, I'm going to buy them some food. Maybe give them $5 or $10. Maybe they want a pack of cigarettes or whatever. But I could use my money for good. All right, good. Buy some cabbage. Sit in the shrubbery.
It was a time where there were ample resources. There was youngs like the shop. It's that simple. It's a retail country to a certain extent. Even those who had plans of doing something perhaps with some of the things they purchased, it fizzled along the way. But long story short, any type of investment that was being made with those funds that legitimately produced results is not what you run into most. I mean, you can see plenty of the evidence of having received the funds, but as far as the funds being as you said, utilized for something that could turn into something bigger, even those who were using the
PPE loans, PPP or whatever.
PPP loans, but even those individuals. I mean, it was, now there were a few, I'm sure, that invested in something else. Quite a few, I'm more sure, that were actually paying their employees. But from what I've noticed, those who got considerable sums went out and bought Bentleys and Bentleys aren't even that great, but
mansions, boats, jewelry.
Ridiculous purchases, just over the top. there were people who went, and we discussed this, there were people who went and bought, someone went and bought. Anyway, there's a difference. I don't want to give it away, because if I say what it was, then y'all know what we're talking about. But there's a difference between owning a vehicle and being able to pay to maintain it. And the higher priced the vehicle, the more exclusive and more expensive the repairs.
I think it's 15,000-20,000 for a Bugatti windshield.
25 for the entire oil change and service. It's there are clocks on some vehicles that are 15,000. The Starlight, like the Starlight headliner in the Cullinan, the door panels, you can have the Starlight put in 15,000 on those. But I cannot not. I ain't even spending their money, because those funds are theirs. But it's even those who had the resources in place to request the amount that they got didn't use it,
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it all. I get what you mean. I get what you mean. Let's hear something.
This was I mean, I guess this one kind of seems like a hit for the female audience. But I like it because it hits right in between the spectrum.
To the speakers, and you let Luther do your talking for you. And Luther break it down like, riding around in my whip, listening to my shit. She wanna hear track 6. She told me I suck. Baby girl said I got the title. Got a nigga feeling like Michael Jackson, Jordan, don't matter the people. I'm all in it, she's all in it. I'm locked and loaded, ready to go like a gun that don't.
So what was it that attracted you to the artist or to the song?
When I was doing music, I always realized that you have to appeal to more than just one audience.
Right.
And that's almost like anything in sales. Being in management in different areas, different fields, you can't just appeal to one audience if you want to hit the numbers you're projecting for. You have your sale, you have your red line, you have your bottom line. That's like your minimum to break even. So when I put something out, I want to put a project out that can rock with the nerds, the geeks, the gawks, the trappers, the strippers, the bartenders, the stoners. You have to hit all spectrums when you release a project. And when you mix great R&B artists with great lyricists who are rappers, they have to be lyricists. That's the key, And I saw a video of Justin Bieber. He was in the studio with violinists and cellists. Like, he had a full spectrum of live people there, of orchestra people there, right there.
Right.
And he was literally taking what he had in his head and having them recreate it. That's to me, that's the depth of passion that creates the greatness. That's what spawns greatness. If you can get past that translation barrier of what you think and put it to what you can hear and what you can have other people hear what you're thinking, that's like telekinetic. That's telepathy, man. Basically, when you break it down, is I'm translating from what's in my head and what I hear in my head to what I can hear audible with my ears,
right.
and I can share that with others. Now you can hear the masterpiece that I literally had in my head, and it sounds like what I imagined.
So that's what attracted you to this one in particular, or was it? Because I wanted to ask you, it's not often that people get to hear from someone who's truly enjoyed both the nightlife and the daytime. So it's I noticed that you played a song that would cater more to the ladies. And hello, ladies. Would you say that persona is more relatable? Would you say that genre, that topic in particular, is most relatable? What music touches you on the most important level for you? What is it that checks off all the boxes?
Oh, there's nothing. Nothing does. That's why I have such a broad spectrum on certain playlists. I have about probably 1,000 playlists that are all different because it's all based on mood. So sometimes I have 5 workout playlists. One is all like Red Hot Chili Peppers, Blink 182-ish, you know. Then I have one that's like trap, hardcore rap. It has certain feels to it that, like you said, music has an influence. So when you get that certain vibe from different kinds of music, it kind of helps transform your mentality into something else. Like you become something else. And I think that's what a lot of people don't realize about music is that when you do hear certain things and put it on repeat, basically because it all hits at the same frequency, or it all has the same melody, or all the same backstory. Everything learned in repetition. So it starts to put you in a different mindset.
Right.
And when you start to change your mind, change how you feel, it's not really you. You're letting in different entities in my eyes because it's not you.
Well, with music, as we discussed, I mean, the reason I brought all this up was, what do you see that is being contributed by music today? Would you say there's a conscious awakening that's being promoted and spread? Would you say that there's a cultural uprising or renaissance or revolution that is taking place and people are recognizing each other more? Or would you say...
I feel like there's
the
more of a human connection.
in music today?
I feel like it's more of a human connection because you take example, I don't want to get any copyright or trademark infringement, but the Swifties, you take the Swifties for example, you have not just the teenage girl, young woman, grown woman phase. You not just have the feminine movement with her music. I've come across dudes that are hardcore Swifties that love her. I love Taylor, you know what I mean? But I've come across some guys that are just as hardcore Swift fans that there are females on the spectrum that are hardcore Swiftie fans. So you have recently her relationship with Kelsey, you know what I mean? That brought together how many different aspects of fans just with their influences. You have major football with her music career.
Right.
They're both, you have both of their fan bases and worldwide personalities of people who love football and love music and love her and like the team or whatever it may be. That brings people together, whether people can see it or not. But stuff like that, I think, is great for culture. example. You know, it's like you have an R&B artist that starts to date an actress, or an actor and an actress get together.
Big pardon.
Oh, I love Blake Lively. You know, and then like, oh yeah, all right. They come up with those cute Hollywood nicknames. You know.
So what would you say? Wow. What would you say that outside of what she has in her fan base, what would you say that is Taylor Swift's, for example? What's her contribution? You know, I'm not saying that all music is bad, but to a certain extent, there is some music that, for lack of a better term, glorifies everything that we're trying to get away from. But at the same time, you have to keep in mind that, there are people who are living this existence. This isn't studio for everyone. Not I'm not quite that bad. But it's just the fact that do you think that there are more artists in music trying to positively and hands-on change the world, or would you say that it's a gaggle of blokes that's trying to send us all there in a handbasket?
I don't know.
Honestly, when you think of the vibe or the rhythm of the nation, because in my opinion, everything has a rhythm. Everything has its own melody. It's a matter of, as you said earlier, being able to hear it, letting it resonate. But if you were to look in terms of a rhythm for this nation, what would you say it is?
It's an F5 tornado, man.
No, as in a musical rhythm.
That's what I'm talking about.
Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to thank you again for joining us here at the Midnight Hour. This is part 1. Tune in for more. As for now, relax. Get what you need. And enjoy a bit of newer, mellow morning magic. Enjoy.
Rub my eyes, brush my teeth. Then I smoke some trees and I meditate with the Almighty. That is a zone of sin. I get messed up, but I can't still breathe. And I'm trying to sin. God have mercy, I'm on my knees. Cause a man must sing. I live in a world of blooming danger. And the evil's always winning, and people they live in prayer. Enjoy the price. I know one place. I'm living a life to the world. I never have peace. I don't mess with my peace. Not messing with my peace of mind. Are we gonna die? Me, I know, no. But me, I know, say one day we go still go solo. Information without understanding means say, Brian, no. Not all the old people, we're good people. What the young you know, no. Come on, baby, I'm I see, she's a God, the reason that you were bred. I pray, she lives long to reap the fruit of her pain. I see, she's a God, the reason that you were bred. I pray, she lives long to reap the fruit of her pain. So, yeah.
next time. I would like to thank you again for joining us. As always, it has been a pleasure. I'd like you to tune in for part 2 of this conversation, which is exactly how it should feel. Travel well, stay safe,